Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, Season 5, Episode 9 of our Quick Clip series. And we are talking about some of this redistricting and gerrymandering that's going on because it's been in the news. I've been hearing a lot of people whine about it. So I want Wes to explain it to me like I'm a child.
It's been interesting, that's for sure. So gerrymandering, we just looked it up to make sure we had it right. Started back in 1812. Who was the mayor of Massachusetts? And the governor.
Governor.
Well, he'd drawn some districts to favor himself. His name was Jerry. So that's where it comes from. This is nothing new. But right now, you've had a lot of stuff happening. So you had Virginia try to redraw their districts to actually favor the Democrats, and never got to I don't know if he could have gone to the federal Supreme Court, but went the first state court it went to, it was so over the top illegal, they threw it out.
Hmm.
And then obviously the state appealed, got all the way to the Virginia Supreme State Court. And even as liberal as they are, even they could not rubber stamp this. It was so bad.
Oh, wow.
That's what people don't understand. So it went, I mean, you literally see if I can call this up and show you. Let's see if it'll actually come. I don't want that. I want a picture. Let's see what's the picture. So we'll share quite much stuff on this so you can actually see it because numbers are so scary, right?
Oh, yeah.
So here we're looking at, this is what they redrew here. Oh, no, the top one is what it is right now. This is the redistricting at the bottom, and you can see they pushed all of the Republican support into one district by diluting everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
So you had this, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but it basically took away all but one. I went 10 to 11. Right now, I think is it 6-5 or 7-4? Still a Democrat favor, but
Mm-hmm.
they were trying to get it to this. And all this started because Texas did it last year. They redistrict, took away a bunch of Democrat. So the California came along and they redid theirs. And so there's been this back and forth. Well, this one's the first one the court kind of threw out. But then the Supreme Court threw out Louisiana's district that had been drawn to make sure African Americans were the number one, the highest percentage in that district.
Mm.
And that blatantly is against the Civil Rights Act. You know, the
Right.
Civil Rights Act was trying to get minorities to have them more say, and I get that.
Mm.
But we got to the point where we just drew things to make sure they had the votes. And that's
Right.
actually why South Carolina now is talking about changing ours, because our what is it, the fifth district? What's Clyburn's district? I'm not sure which one it is, but it's been drawn in a way, and it goes from Charleston all the way up to Columbia.
Mm.
And so they're trying to redistrict that. In fact, let's see if I can find some of these redistricts of the whole South, and it actually shows the big difference it's going to make if all this happens. Redistricting in the South.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
All right. Well, now it's officially time to introduce my book, Econ Sense, Economics for Everyday Living. You can actually find it by going to my website, econsense.us. If you go there, you'll see there are links to Amazon where you can pick it up, just a paperback, or if you'd rather have the ebook, you can go to Innovative Ink Publishing in care of Kendall Hunt Publishing Company, where you can get the print or ebook. And while you're on that website, you can also check out my other podcast, Econ Sense. I have several different series that go by. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Email me at west.the.economist@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you.
I've seen it everywhere, but I'm not sure if it's going to show up here. Here is, I think this is what it looks like. No, I think that's a little too old. I'm not seeing one I can pull up right quickly that'll make sense. I see all the different state ones,
Right.
but it basically is going to change what the House of Representatives looks like in the South. It's going to become a lot more red.
Okay.
So are they redistricting to give them more power? Yeah. In fact, here's the one New York Times put out, and just so far, this is not the one that is going to be final. This is just in the process, and that is this is what the Republicans have picked up: five in Texas, one in Florida, one, two in Indiana, one in Ohio, one in Missouri. California redistrict took these five away,
Mm.
but this does not count. What's going to happen in Tennessee just happened. There's another vote, another one picked up in Tennessee, and now all these states are talking about redistricting before the end of the year because a lot of them have districts drawn based on race and not just based on the number of people in a geographical area. So
Who
everybody's saying
determines who can do the redistricting? Like who determines it?
who's in control of the state house usually.
Okay.
And obviously all these have state house, but Republicans have been they've been very hesitant about doing this because they're going to be looked at as being racist and this, that, and the other thing.
Mm.
But then go to the real numbers. Here's where it really gets kind of ugly, to me anyway, is when you really start looking at, let's just start with the top of this one. And I'll show you these numbers because, again, numbers people like to glaze over when they actually see numbers. I think this is the right one. Nope, it's this one here. So can you see that?
Yep.
California. So California has 52 House seats. Obviously, they have the most people there. They have the most seats, most representation. It makes sense.
Yep.
17% of those seats are held by Republicans. 83% is held by Democrats. Okay, so it's a Democratic state. But look at the vote. 40% voted for Trump. 59% voted for Kamala. It's not even. There's more
Right.
Democratic representation there than is, and now they've just changed. I'm not sure if this. When I pulled these numbers, I'm not sure if the new district is there, so it may be worse than this now. Texas is voted Republican 56 and has 66 representation. It's all, but not as bad. But go down to some of these other states. Let's go down to actually, I may have to skip. Let's see, Washington's here. Let's see how it is. So, in Washington, I'm right here. They have 10 House seats, 20% of them, so two are Republicans, 80% are Democrats, even though Republicans have voted 42% for Trump, 55% for Kamala.
Mm.
If I go through these, you will see there's so many of these like this. Democrats have drawn the districts in a way to dilute Republican power in all these blue states.
Yeah.
And then if you really go to the extreme, and nobody's talking about, well, Tennessee, they're not giving any votes to Democrats. I get it. I think it's wrong. But if that's wrong, then obviously this is wrong too. Let's go to Connecticut. Got five seats. 44% voted for Trump, 55 for Kamala. Seems put down the middle, right? Oh, I don't have it up, do I? Let's try it here. So Connecticut, five seats, 44% to Trump, 55% to Kamala Harris. Not one Republican seat in that state.
Wow.
Um, Now the same thing he said about Oklahoma and Arkansas. So it's both ways. But you go to a lot of these states, most of the blue states are a lot more off than the red states. I
Mm.
think we should just trash them all and just go into regions, geographical regions, and just draw the map.
Right.
Stop all this, not only gerrymandering, but just drawing it all. Just, okay, these three counties have the amount of representation one person's supposed to have in Congress. This is a district. Go for it.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
what's happened over the years in the House, people don't realize it. Democrats and Republicans have made deals to pretty much give each other certain districts and leave them alone.
Mm.
But again, you go down here, you can see there's so much disparity. Again, on both sides. I'm not saying Republicans haven't done it some, but Democrats have done it a lot more, and now they're just trying to even the table.
Right.
And with that said, there's going to be fights. But here comes the chess game. So the Democrats are starting to file lawsuits because they feel like these are unfair what they're doing in these districts. They're not giving Democrats representation. Well, Okay, so they send it up. The Supreme Court doesn't see anything wrong with it. They lose. These districts hold.
Mm.
Send it up. Supreme Court says, you're right, and they're going to write an opinion saying that you cannot do this anymore in any state. It's going to open up all these states to be forced to redistrict.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a win-win. Either we get to keep the seats on this go around, which we probably will on this go around. I don't see, we may not. We may lose some of these to a Supreme Court. But by 2028, all these states are going to be forced to give better representation to the people who live in them. And at the end of the day, that's kind of a big thing. That's another one of those things. I always feel like I get on here as a Trump apologist, and you know how I feel about Trump. I'm not a big Trump fan. Just as his history. So,
Right.
but again, he's correcting something that's been wrong for decades,
Yeah.
and it's going to be painful to correct, like anything. But yet, it needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
Connecticut, they had 44% vote for Trump. They need to have between 30 and 40% representation. In other words, they need 2 seats in Connecticut should be Republican.
Right. Right. Yeah. That's crazy. That's
But then again, Arkansas, 65-34. It's 100% Republican.
yeah.
Arkansas, they have 4, at least one of those. One should be Democrats, maybe
Right.
2. And same thing on down the list. So,
Wild. Wild country, wild democratic country we live in.
and there's so much more to talk about, but I know we're out of
I know
time for
that's just
this one.
the iceberg on that.
We'll have to do a podcast on this one.
Yeah, no, we will.
All
That's
right.
wild.
Good enough. We will see y'all next week for some more quick clips.
All right. Maybe by then we'll be completely redistrict.
Yeah, probably. In South Carolina, we might be.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. All right. Y'all have a good one.
All right, guys.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit bobbyclary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you. Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwestc@gmail.com. That's coachwestc@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.